Vitamin C in its purest form is also known as ascorbic or L-ascorbic acid. It's a naturally occurring nutrient in our bodies, and we need it to function normally to repair itself and restore tissue in our bodies. Vitamin C also helps our body produce protein, and it's recommended to help fight colds when we feel a little under the weather.
When it's sniffles time. Vitamin C is water soluble, which means that our body doesn't actually produce or store it. But when we consume it, it's completely absorbed in the small intestine during digestion. And it also helps to absorb other nutrients that we consume in the body.
So you'll find a lot of vitamin C in fermented foods, in raw fruits and veggies like citrus fruits, spinach, yellow peppers, strawberries, Brussels sprouts, black currants, kiwi, guava. I'm hungry.
So there's a lot of things, but when we apply vitamin C to our skin topically in, our skincare products, that's when things start to get a little interesting. So first of all, what is vitamin C even good for? Vitamin C is well known for its ability to brighten the skin tone, even out skin texture, and smooth out fine lines and wrinkles. It's also known as the MVP of protecting the skin against free radical and UV ray damage from the sun because of its high levels of antioxidants.
On top of that, it's involved in helping the skin produce collagen and elastin in the dermis layer of the skin, which are two of the most important factors for maintaining bouncy, soft, and youthful looking skin.
But even with all the studies and raving reviews that you see everywhere about vitamin C, many dermatologists acknowledge that vitamin C helps with radiant skin, but other ones such as Dr. Dre argue that there's a lack of evidence to actually determine whether the amount of vitamin C used to formulate the serums is able to be completely absorbed into the skin, and whether or not it actually shows promising results because of its unstable nature.
How does vitamin C work in our skin? Collagen and elastin both lie in the dermis layer as proteins that give structure to our skin. While elastin keeps the skin firm, bouncy, and retain its shape, collagen acts as the glue that binds the cells together.
And what vitamin C does is interact with the amino acids within the collagen cells and adds hydrogen and also oxygen to boost the collagen production. So it's kind of like a booster shot to the skin system to regenerate and give that healthy glow, healthy skin.
So it's just like instead of the downward spiral of skincare acne stuff, it's an
uphill.
upward. Yay!
So now that we know how vitamin C works, let's dive into the many different types of vitamin C we can use for our skin.
As we said before, vitamin C actually comes in pure and derivative forms, and depending on different products, you'll see different types. So let's first take a look at vitamin C in its purest form.
So it's also known as ascorbic acid or L-ascorbic acid. So these two terms are kind of interchangeable, and it just refers to the strongest and purest form of vitamin C. This means that it's the only form that your body can actually recognize and utilize right away. Kind of like with vitamin A, how there's retinoic acid, and if you use retinol, it has to turn into a retinoic acid. It's like a two-step, so this is pure.
Because it's super concentrated and potent, it means that it works almost immediately to bring all the benefits we mentioned of lightening, brightening, boosting collagen, fending off free radicals, etc.
into the skin. But the downside of ascorbic acid and L-ascorbic acid is that they're very unstable ingredients, unlike our retinol and niacinamide buddies.
What unstable means is that the ingredient itself is very sensitive. It can change very easily depending on temperature, light, air in the environment. This means it's much more likely to oxidize, change in color, and turn in consistency, basically go bad quickly compared to things like vitamin A's, retinols, and niacinamide, which is super stable.
This is part of the reason why you'll hear that vitamin C is hard to use. What are the vitamin C derivatives and how do they work? Because of its instability that we said before, no one wants to deal with unstable things. Formulators and scientists behind a lot of different skincare brands have developed more stable forms of vitamin C known as derivatives. So this just means that because it isn't the pure form, it won't go bad as easily when formulated with other ingredients in the product, but it also won't cause things like inflammation when used in your skincare routine because we have so many different products. And this inflammation can be a result of using the pure ascorbic form of vitamin C.
When derivatives are absorbed into the skin, the body breaks down the derivative into ascorbic acid, which can then act to function just like the actual antioxidant.
And with that being said, it's once again less irritating to those of you with sensitive skin or for those of you who haven't used any sort of vitamin C. Derivatives can also come in oil, and water-soluble forms.
Now that we know this, there are actually a lot of different vitamin C derivatives used in popular skincare products. Let's look at 3 common examples and where we can find them.
So one of the many forms of vitamin C derivatives includes the tetrahexadecyl ascorbate, otherwise known as THD, just for sanity's sake. And this is known to be the gold standard form of vitamin C derivative because THD is known for its skin brightening and hyperpigmentation lightening properties. It also has fatty acid components that make it oil soluble, and it helps to penetrate deeper into the layers of the skin.
It's also oxygen stable, which means when the ingredients in the product is exposed to air, it won't go bad. THD is found in many oil serums as well as moisturizers and often gives the product a creamy texture with moisturizing properties for the skin. So it works really well with people who have dry skin or for spot treatments to target hyperpigmentation or melasma, but also with most other skin types. Another derivative is magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, or MAP. This is a water-soluble and stable form of ascorbic acid. MAP is known to increase hydration levels as well as brighten and soothe an even skin tone.
The tech products is ascorbyl glucoside. This is also a water-soluble derivative,
and it's recommended to pair ascorbyl glucoside with vitamin B or niacinamide for the best results.
Another vitamin C derivative, and this acts like vitamin C to brighten and protect with high levels of antioxidants.
3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid, which helps brighten the skin through reducing melanin production. And this derivative also works to stabilize the ascorbic acid, which we know is rather unstable.
Yeah, so that one, melanin just is in control with producing hyperpigmentation, dark spots, sunspots and things like that.
So how to use vitamin C in your skincare routine? Good news is vitamin C is not as intimidating to use as vitamin A, aka retinols, because the majority of us can experience its benefits, so it's not like you have to be of a certain age or a specific skin type to use, because we all want to look bright and sparkly, right? Like Edward Cullen.
In the sun. So if you are a newbie to using vitamin C products in general, you're going to want to start off with kind of like with a chemical exfoliant, right? You want to start with the lowest percentage or concentration of products with ascorbic or L-ascorbic acid to avoid irritation.
If you're still a little hesitant because you don't know if your skin will like it, start off trying a product that contains one of the derivatives we mentioned before, as it's much less irritating and suitable for sensitive skin. Then once you know what your skin reacts well with and you see subtle changes, then you can start working your way up the percentage level and perhaps consider going for a product that contains 10 to 15 or even 20% of ascorbic acid, but keep in mind these levels are pretty potent.
So now, are you wondering, does it work better during the day or the night? The answer is both.
But we would recommend using it during the day with the sunscreen because of the antioxidant properties and the ability to fight off free radicals and prevent sun damage from UV rays during the day. So it's essentially an armor on your skin during the day.
But if you do prefer it at night, or there's vitamin C products that are designed to use at night, this is also fine because the skin and the body during the nighttime is in recovery and repair mode. So if you have a serum with a high concentration of L-ascorbic acid, given that it's tolerable to your skin, of course, this is a great opportunity to help the skin replenish and rejuvenate itself while you catch some sleep.
While the day allows the vitamin C serum to act as a shield, the night allows the serum to reverse the damage of your skin from the day's work.
This brings us on to what other ingredients does it work well with? Like with other ingredients, vitamin C actually works well with niacinamide, vitamin E, ferulic acid, which is a plant-based antioxidant, and ferulic acid is actually highly recommended for bringing out all of the goodness of vitamin C, like delivering more antioxidants to the skin and speeding up vitamin C's effects on the skin.
And vitamin E works really well with vitamin C, which is why you will see them paired together very often in products.
They're best friends! Yay! And if you choose to incorporate niacinamide, it shouldn't be a major problem, unless of course you're using pure vitamin C serum with a really high concentration of like 20%, then your skin will most likely become irritated because it is also so high in terms of pure vitamin C. But keep in mind that everyone's skin tolerates up to, a differing degree of percentage. So definitely do your research, do your patch test, and stop as soon as you see any sort of irritation. Now, products, what you love, what we like to buy. Yay! I've only used a few because back in the day, I actually reacted negatively towards vitamin C, and it was only recently that I started like slowly incorporating it again because I have very tanned skin. So it's not like going to brighten
or like
my
remove
skin.
freckles for me.
Yeah, it won't remove freckles, but it will help.
You don't have it to begin with.
Yeah, well, I kind of do, but you don't see it like you do. So one that I want to mention is the Paula's Choice Vitamin C15 Booster. So this one has 15% L-ascorbic acid as well as vitamin E, ferulic acid, and peptides. And what I love about these boosters, because they have a whole range, I like that you can kind of customize it into what you want to boost. So you can like add it into your serum, make it like a hyaluronic vitamin C concoction.
Niacinamide.
Yeah, or you can add it into your moisturizer. So like depending on which step of the routine you feel comfortable with, you can, decide on that yourself, but then you can also decide on the amount. It can be like 1 drop, which is a tiny little bit, or 3 drops if you feel more comfortable.
The whole tube.
Yeah, I've never tried that. That's a little bit scary. Another product that we've both tried, probably you can talk about this, is the Drunk Elephant C Firma Vitamin C Day Cream.
It's great for dry, mature skin and has 15% L-ascorbic acid, 1.5% ferulic acid, 1% vitamin E. I think like when I used it consistently every single morning like a year ago, it worked beautifully.
Really?
Yeah, and then I stopped for a few months and then I went back to it to finish because I was like, vitamin C is gonna go bad, I need to finish it. That also worked really well.
Yeah.
But then when I went back to it maybe a few months ago, it didn't really do much, so I stopped using it.
When you first used it, was it already that orangey color? I don't know if it was formulated that way.
I think in the very beginning, it's like a light oil. It's kind of like a light oil texture.
Yeah.
And then as you use it, you can start seeing little specks of more orangey things in there.
Okay.
And then at the end, which we'll show you guys in the B-roll, if it goes bad, it's just straight like dark brown orange.
Yeah. And actually, just to mention the ingredients of this one, you always see vitamin C and E and ferulic acid, and we're gonna explain why these ingredients actually work really well with vitamin C. If you guys are into CosRx, they also have a CCC Lightening liquid, which is good, once again, for dull skin and also hyperpigmentation and any skin types who can tolerate a 20% of ascorbic acid.
I feel like I want to try.
Yeah, and the good thing about CosRx is that they're super affordable, as well as the pure ascorbic acid. It has 72% of black chokeberry, and this ingredient helps to stabilize the high concentration of pure ascorbic acid. That bottle is black, and vitamin C, because it's so unstable, which means air, heat, light, anything will affect its stability, right? So the fact that it's in this black bottle is definitely to help the longevity of it. So another one that we have is the Klairs Freshly Juiced Vitamin C Serum. And this one is it's clear and watery, and it's great for sensitive and combination skin types. It's also a really good vitamin C product for those of you who are starting out because it does have a lower percentage of L-ascorbic acid, as well as really calming ingredients like Centella asiatica extract, which is one of those just soothing, calming, reducing redness. Yeah, as well as Yuja fruit extract. This one I've also tried, but also not long enough to see results. I think with vitamin C, I'm very not dedicated to keeping it going.
I think it's just a reflection also of our generation's impatience and how we want immediate results.
But another really popular and more high level of ascorbic acid product is the timeless 20% vitamin C and E ferulic acid serum that you can get on Amazon, super inexpensive, and it's great for mature skin as well as just any skin that tolerates 20%. This product is also much lower on the pH level because vitamin C products normally range around the 3 pH level. This one is 2.4, which means that one, it's very unstable. It'll probably only last you up to 3 months before it starts to like decompose in the way that vitamin C does. But it can also be quite irritating because of the low pH level, because it's so acidic, and because of the high levels of ascorbic acid. So just keep that in mind. If you are like a vitamin C lover guru, then this is also a good one. As well as that, ordinary vitamin C suspension, 23% with the HA spheres 2%. So this has 23% ascorbic acid powder. It's also got sodium hyaluronate, and the consistency is like a kind of heavy serum formula because of the fact that they add powder vitamin C, but it also absorbs quite quickly. So that's also an inexpensive option.
When will I see results after using vitamin C in my routine? So results definitely vary from person to person, but vitamin C generally takes around 2 weeks or a month of daily use to see brightening benefits, and about 3 months to see the benefits including tone improvement and collagen production.
I would prefer using niacinamide because it is so much more stable, easier to use. It almost gives the same benefits. You know, it produces collagen, it helps even skin tone, it also helps minimize pores because it helps to control oil. So all those things actually help me much better than vitamin C. And so like vitamin C is kind of just an add-on. So with like the ABCs, you kind of just like pick and choose which one according to your own kind of needs. We always hear vitamin C is not compatible with niacinamide. So what's the truth and the myth about this vitamin C pairing?
The myth is vitamin C and niacinamide are a dangerous combination to use for our skin because the effects of both are going to cancel each other out and also create nicotinic acid, aka niacin, which can cause redness and tingling to the skin.
Actually, the combination of vitamin C and niacinamide is perfectly safe. It's like a synergy because they both boost each other's ability to brighten and protect the skin and also fend off from free radicals and harmful UV rays. And these claims are actually made back in the day, and we're talking like 1960s, of when skincare researchers and product developers were working with very unstable forms of vitamin C and the pure forms in an isolated and a controlled environment. So basically, the form of ascorbic acid they were dealing with was nowhere near close to what we have today in the products that we see today, which are actually designed and formulated to be used in conjunction with other ingredients. Of course, just test it out on your own skin, see if there's any tingling, redness, and if it is a high level of pure ascorbic acid, then maybe skip out on niacinamide. And it's very easy, just use one at day, one at night. So that was our comprehensive roundup of vitamin C. This concludes our ABCs of vitamins, which is actually pretty exciting because these are the most probably well-researched ingredients, would you call it, or nutrients that we can ingest but also apply topically, and they kind of work in different ways.